Have you ever felt a whisper of worry in the back of your mind? A nagging feeling that perhaps some of your daily routines, those comfort zones you've built over decades, might not be serving you as well as you think. It's a natural thought, especially as we gain more wisdom and experience with each passing year. We get set in our ways, and sometimes, those very habits we lean on can, quite subtly, begin to work against us. It's a painful reality to consider that something so ingrained could be silently chipping away at the precious time we have left to enjoy life, to spend with loved ones, to pursue passions. But the good news, the secret I want to share with you today, is that recognizing these habits is the first, most powerful step towards reclaiming vitality and extending your vibrant years. In this video, we're going to gently explore 7 specific habits that, after 70, can quietly shorten your life without you even realizing it. We're not here to judge or scare you, but to empower you with knowledge and simple, actionable insights. Understanding these subtle shifts can make all the difference, helping you to not just live longer, but to live better, with more energy and joy. So, settle in, grab a cup of tea, and let's uncover these together. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you. A powerful truth that often gets overlooked. Let's dive right in and begin with the first habit. One that many of us might find ourselves slipping into almost unknowingly, especially as our lives change and our circles might shift. It's the quiet erosion of social connection, a habit of increasing isolation. Think about it. Retirement often means fewer daily interactions with colleagues. Adult children might be busy with their own families, and perhaps friends have moved away or passed on. It's easy to retreat, to find comfort in the quiet of our own homes. But human beings are inherently social creatures. And profound scientific research has shown us time and again that a lack of meaningful social interaction is as detrimental to our health as smoking or obesity. When we isolate ourselves, we often experience increased stress, a higher risk of depression and anxiety, and even a weaker immune system, making us more susceptible to illness. Our brains thrive on conversation, on shared laughter, on the feeling of belonging. Imagine for a moment Mrs. Henderson, who, after her husband passed, found herself spending most of her days alone. She stopped going to her weekly bridge club, rarely called her friends, and found comfort in watching television. Over time, she noticed her mood dipping, her energy fading, and even simple tasks felt overwhelming. Her doctor noted a decline in her overall health, not from any specific ailment, but a general weakening. What could she do? The beautiful thing is that reversing this habit doesn't require grand gestures. It's about small, consistent efforts. It could be as simple as making a commitment to call one friend or family member each day, even for 5 minutes, just to say hello and hear a familiar voice. It might mean joining a local seniors center for an activity you enjoy, perhaps a walking group, a book club, or even a low-impact exercise class. Volunteering, even for an hour a week, can provide structure, purpose, and invaluable social interactions. Even just sitting on your front porch or in your garden and waving to neighbors as they pass can create a sense of connection. The key is to consciously seek out opportunities for connection. No matter how small they seem, your heart, your mind, and your body will thank you for it. Now, transitioning from the importance of social connection, let's consider a closely related habit that can quietly diminish our years: a sedentary lifestyle. Or, simply put, not moving enough. For many of us, as we age, our bodies might feel a bit creakier. Our energy levels not quite what they used to be. And the idea of vigorous exercise might seem daunting, or even unnecessary. It's easy to settle into a routine of mostly sitting, whether it's reading, watching television, or enjoying a quiet moment. But our bodies were made to move. And when we don't, we lose muscle mass and strength at an accelerated rate. a process called sarcopenia. Our bones become weaker, our joints stiffer, and our cardiovascular system doesn't get the workout it needs to stay strong. This leads to a host of problems, from an increased risk of falls and fractures to a higher likelihood of developing heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even some forms of cancer. Consider Mr. Davies, a retired carpenter who used to be incredibly active. After he stopped working, he found himself spending hours in his armchair. He started noticing that even walking to the mailbox felt tiring. His balance wasn't as steady, and he felt a general weakness he hadn't experienced before. His blood pressure started to creep up, and he felt constantly fatigued. The good news is that movement doesn't have to mean intense workouts or joining a gym. It's about integrating gentle activity into your day. Think about what feels good to you. Could you take a short, leisurely stroll around your block in the morning and again in the afternoon? Even 10 or 15 minutes of walking, perhaps with a walking aid if needed, can make a significant difference. Could you do some light stretching exercises while watching your favorite show? There are wonderful chair yoga or seated exercise routines available online that can be done right from your living room. The goal isn't to become an athlete, but to break up long periods of sitting, to keep your muscles engaged, your joints mobile, and your blood flowing. Even standing up and walking to the kitchen for a glass of water every hour can add up. Every little bit of movement contributes to a longer, healthier, and more independent life. And that brings us smoothly to our third habit, one that often works in tandem with reduced activity and social connection, quietly affecting our vitality from the inside out, an over-reliance on processed foods and sugary snacks. Over the decades, our food landscape has changed dramatically. It's become so easy to reach for convenience foods, prepackaged meals, biscuits, cakes, chips, and sugary drinks. They're quick, they're often inexpensive, and they taste good in the moment. But these foods are typically low in the vital nutrients our bodies desperately need, like fiber, lean protein, and essential vitamins and minerals. Instead, they are often packed with unhealthy fats, excessive sodium, and refined sugars. Regularly consuming these types of foods can lead to chronic inflammation in the body, which is a root cause of many age-related diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. They can also contribute to weight gain, digestive issues, and energy crashes, leaving you feeling sluggish and unwell. Think of Mrs. Chen, who often found herself too tired to cook a full meal after a long day. She'd resort to frozen dinners, white bread sandwiches, and often a sugary treat for comfort. She started experiencing persistent heartburn, low energy, and found her blood sugar levels were becoming a concern. Her doctor gently suggested a shift in her eating habits. The beautiful part is, you don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight or become a gourmet chef. Small, consistent changes truly add up. Could you swap out that sugary biscuit for a piece of fruit like an apple or a handful of berries instead of a highly processed frozen meal? Could you try a simple grilled piece of fish or chicken with some steamed vegetables? Or a hearty bowl of lentil soup? Focus on incorporating more whole, unprocessed foods into your diet, plenty of colorful vegetables, fresh fruits, lean proteins like chicken, fish, or beans, and whole grains. Staying hydrated with water instead of sugary drinks is also incredibly impactful. Every healthy choice you make nourishes your body at a cellular level, helping it to repair, regenerate, and thrive, giving you the energy and resilience to enjoy every day to the fullest. Now that we've discussed social connection, physical movement, and nourishing your body, let's move on to some equally crucial habits that can unknowingly impact your precious years. Next, let's talk about a habit that can have truly serious consequences if left unchecked, ignoring early warning signs of health issues. It's easy to dismiss a new ache or pain as just getting older, or to put off a doctor's visit because you don't want to bother anyone. Or perhaps you're a bit nervous about what you might hear. We've all been there, brushing off a persistent cough, a new lump, or a change in digestion, telling ourselves it will probably just go away. But after 70, our bodies are different. While many minor issues are indeed just part of the aging process, some subtle changes can be the first whispers of more serious conditions, like heart disease, cancer, or neurological issues. Delaying a checkup or ignoring symptoms means potentially missing the window for early diagnosis and treatment, which often makes a world of difference in managing a condition or even curing it. Early intervention can preserve your quality of life and significantly extend your healthy years. Consider Mr. Thompson, who started experiencing a dull chest pain occasionally, especially when walking upstairs. He attributed it to indigestion or old age. He waited several months before mentioning it to his daughter, who insisted he see his doctor. It turned out to be an early sign of heart disease that, thankfully, was caught in time for lifestyle changes and medication to manage it effectively, preventing a much more severe event. What can we do? The most powerful action you can take is to listen to your body and not be afraid to speak up if something feels different, if a symptom persists for more than a few days, or if you have a gut feeling that something isn't quite right. Make an appointment with your doctor. Don't wait until it becomes an emergency. Regular checkups, even when you feel perfectly fine, are also incredibly important. They allow your doctor to monitor your overall health, catch potential issues early, and help you stay proactive. Remember, your health is your most valuable asset, and being proactive rather than reactive is a habit that truly pays dividends in the long run. It's about taking gentle, consistent care of the incredible vessel that carries you through life. Moving on. Let's talk about a silent thief of vitality that many of us simply accept as a part of aging chronic sleep deprivation or consistently poor sleep hygiene. It's often said that older adults need less sleep, but that's a myth. While our sleep patterns might change, the fundamental need for restorative sleep remains. Many people over 70 struggle with falling asleep, staying asleep, or simply getting good quality, deep sleep. This can be due to various factors like pain, medications, or even anxiety. But consistently missing out on adequate sleep, typically 7 to 9 hours for most adults, even older ones, has profound consequences. It impairs your cognitive function, making it harder to concentrate, remember things, and make decisions. It weakens your immune system, making you more vulnerable to infections. It can also exacerbate chronic conditions, impact your mood, and even increase your risk of falls due to fatigue and impaired judgment. Imagine Mrs. Kim, who often woke up multiple times at night and struggled to fall back asleep during the day. She felt groggy, irritable, and found herself forgetting things more often. She thought it was just her age, but her doctor suggested looking at her sleep habits. What can you do to cultivate better sleep? Creating a consistent sleep routine is key. Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends. Make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep, dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals close to bedtime. Limit screen time from phones, tablets, and televisions for at least an hour before you plan to sleep, as the blue light can disrupt your body's natural sleep cycle. Instead, try reading a book, listening to calming music, or taking a warm bath. If pain is an issue, discuss pain management strategies with your doctor. Remember, sleep is not a luxury. It's a biological necessity for repair, rejuvenation, and healthy aging. Prioritizing it is one of the kindest things you can do for your body and mind. Now, let's turn our attention to a habit that can silently gnaw away at our well-being, allowing chronic stress to dominate your life without effective management. Life, at any age, throws curveballs. And after 70, you might be facing unique stressors, perhaps caring for a spouse, navigating health challenges, financial concerns, or even adjusting to the loss of loved ones. While acute stress is a natural response, Chronic stress, when it becomes a constant background hum in your life, can be incredibly damaging. It keeps your body in a perpetual fight-or-flight mode, leading to elevated levels of stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, this can contribute to high blood pressure, heart disease, digestive problems, a weakened immune system, and even accelerate cognitive decline. It can also lead to feelings of anxiety, irritability, and sadness, dimming the joy in your daily life. Think of Mr. Rodriguez, a kind man who found himself constantly worrying about his children's problems and his own declining health. He'd lie awake at night, his mind racing, and during the day, he felt a constant knot in his stomach. He was always on edge, and his blood pressure began to climb. What gentle steps can you take to manage stress? The key is to find healthy outlets for those feelings. Simple mindfulness practices, like focusing on your breath for a few minutes each day, can be incredibly calming. Gentle exercise, as we discussed earlier, is a fantastic stress reliever. Spending time in nature, even just sitting in a park or your garden, can reduce stress hormones. Engaging in hobbies you love, painting, gardening, knitting, playing music, provides a wonderful distraction and a sense of accomplishment. Talking to a trusted friend, family member, or even a professional counselor can also provide immense relief and perspective. Learning to let go of things you cannot control and focusing on what you can influence brings immense peace. Remember, managing stress isn't about eliminating it entirely, but about developing healthy coping mechanisms that protect your body and mind from its corrosive effects, allowing you to experience more tranquility and contentment. And finally, let's consider the 7th habit that can quietly shorten your life. Not necessarily in terms of years, but in terms of the richness and sharpness of those years not engaging in regular mental stimulation. We often focus on physical exercise, but our brains need a workout too, just like muscles. If you don't use it, you might lose some of its sharpness. As we age, our brains naturally undergo changes, but these changes don't have to lead to significant decline. If we consistently engage in passive activities and don't challenge our minds with new learning or complex tasks, our cognitive abilities can stagnate or even diminish. This can impact memory, problem-solving skills, and our overall ability to navigate the world with confidence and independence. Imagine Mrs. Green, who, after retiring, spent most of her days watching television and reading light novels. She found herself struggling more and more with remembering names, finding the right words, and solving everyday problems that used to be simple. Her mind felt a bit foggy. What can you do to keep your brain sharp and engaged? The good news is, it's often about simply doing things that bring you joy and a little challenge. Learning something new is fantastic, whether it's a new language, how to play a musical instrument, a new craft, or even just diving into a subject you've always been curious about. Reading diverse books, engaging in stimulating conversations, playing board games or card games with friends, and even doing puzzles like crosswords or Sudoku can all provide a wonderful mental workout. Consider joining a discussion group or taking an online course. Even simple daily activities like cooking a new recipe or planning a new route for your walk can give your brain a little boost. The goal is to keep your mind active, curious, and challenged, fostering new neural pathways and keeping your cognitive abilities strong for years to come. Next, we'll bring all these insights together and explore the deeper meaning behind these habits, leading to that surprising truth I mentioned earlier. So, we've gently explored these 7 habits that, perhaps unknowingly, can subtly impact our longevity and our quality of life after 70. We started by considering the profound importance of nurturing our social connections, understanding that isolation can be as detrimental as physical ailments. We then moved to the crucial need for consistent physical movement, reminding ourselves that our bodies thrive on activity, even gentle activity. To maintain strength and vitality, we looked at the impact of our diet, specifically the quiet harm of over-relying on processed foods and sugary snacks, and the immense benefits of choosing whole, nourishing foods. Then, we discussed the critical habit of paying attention to and acting on early warning signs from our bodies, understanding that proactive care can make all the difference. We shone a light on the often underestimated power of quality sleep, recognizing it as a fundamental pillar of health. We addressed the pervasive challenge of managing chronic stress, learning how to protect our minds and bodies from its corrosive effects. And finally, we highlighted the importance of keeping our minds actively stimulated, ensuring our cognitive sharpness remains vibrant. Now, as you reflect on these habits, I want you to remember something incredibly important, a powerful, surprising truth that often gets lost in the conversation about health and longevity. You are not defined by your age, and it is never, ever too late to make positive changes. Too often, we internalize the idea that after a certain age, decline is inevitable, that our habits are set in stone, and that there's little we can do to alter our trajectory. But that simply isn't true. The human body and mind possess an incredible capacity for resilience and adaptation. Every single day offers a fresh opportunity to choose differently, to take a small step, to embrace a new approach. It's not about perfection, it's about progress, however small. Think about it this way: if you've been feeling a bit isolated, simply sending one text message or making one phone call today is a powerful step. If you've been mostly sitting, standing up and stretching during the next commercial break is a gentle start. If your diet has been leaning towards convenience, swapping out just one processed snack for a piece of fruit is a victory. These aren't overwhelming overhauls. They are gentle nudges, conscious decisions made with kindness towards yourself. And the surprising truth is that these small, consistent, cumulative changes have a much greater impact than any dramatic, unsustainable effort. They build momentum, create new pathways in your brain, and gradually, almost imperceptibly, begin to reshape your days and, indeed, your future. The real surprise here is not some secret pill or miraculous cure, but the profound power you already possess within yourself to influence your health and happiness, right here, right now. It's the realization that your later years can be a period of incredible growth, joy, and vitality, not just a slowing down. It's about approaching each day with curiosity and self-compassion, choosing habits that nurture and uplift you, rather than those that subtly drain your life force. You have lived a rich, full life, accumulated wisdom, and faced countless challenges. You have an inherent strength that has brought you to this very moment. Tap into that strength. Embrace the idea that every small positive shift you make is an act of self-love and a testament to your desire to live your best life. For as long as possible, with as much energy and joy as possible. I genuinely hope this conversation has sparked some new thoughts or reinforced some old wisdom for you. If any of these habits resonated with you, or if you have your own valuable insights or experiences to share, please don't keep them to yourself. I'd love to read your comments below. Your stories and tips can be incredibly inspiring and helpful to others in our community. And if you found this video helpful, if it offered you a fresh perspective or a moment of encouragement, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That little like goes a long way in helping us reach more people who could benefit from this message. And if you haven't already, I'd be so grateful if you would subscribe to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you more practical, uplifting content to support you in every stage of life. Remember, your best years are ahead of you, and with a little conscious effort, a lot of self-compassion, and the wisdom you already possess, you can live them fully. Live your best life at every age. Thank you for watching.